The pilot episode. Here we go again with your three friends, Drew, Neil, and Perk. We got your favorite movies and shows. It's three guys nobody knows. The pilot episode.
What's up, and welcome back to another episode of the Pilot Episode Podcast. Today, we're reviewing The Greatest Showman. However, before we get into that, we just had a funny off-air moment. We really thought we should share it with y'all. Perk was going through all of our comments that we've gotten recently, and we really do appreciate you guys leaving us comments, and girls leaving us comments and liking the videos. But Perk told me that it looks like I finally got one of my the grandmothers I tried to talk to at the end of the show to comment.
Having no idea.
It was my grandmother.
In part, it was his grandmother. I wish y'all could have been there and experienced it live. This shit is not made up. It happened just that way, and it was great.
And also,
Yeah,
go ahead, my bad.
It's bad. I know this woman. The name didn't click, and I read the whole comment to Drew and was like, "Oh, I guess you got your grandmother's coming in." Read the name on the YouTube channel, and Drew was like, "That is my grandmother."
Literally.
We also seen an uptick in views for the Warriors episode after Mac Hollins decided to walk in and into the AFC Championship with his bottles and say Warriors come out to play.
And we also angered a lot of boomers with the Warriors episode.
Yeah, if you wanna lead into that one, Perk. I know you had said something about basically discussing those for a quick moment. We can.
Yeah. So not
I wouldn't
necessarily
go too
angered.
deep.
Not necessarily angered, but my dad didn't appreciate our non-knowledge of the landscape of the world, as he put it, for the time. And then we had a couple of comments of people that they didn't appreciate that we didn't like their favorite movie. That's all I'll say.
I hate it for them. They should have better taste in movies, and they thought we didn't have good taste. I really do.
Yeah, and look, they may hate my favorite movie. That's part of life. Still love you.
Surely, yeah. But you guys want to jump in The Greatest Showman with budget and reviews and credit scores?
No, before we get into that, Perk, I need to hear our first true grandmother review.
Okay, I will read it word for word. Sorry, Dad, this will include a profanity because it's Drew's grandmother. What do you expect?
Wow.
Drew.
I get it. It is me. I get it.
She said, and I quote, "I'm going to say this, and please don't take it out of context. The women are absolutely beautiful in this series. I love this episode and hope for more. I thought they were killing him off also. Tommy is the brains keeping everything together. The girls show they do have feelings, and Nate done exactly as I thought he would do. So many showed where their loyalty lies. I think M-Tex Oil is going down." What I'm hearing is we need to get grandmother on for episode 1 of season 3.
Dude, she can come film with me at my house. We will split a fucking case and have a blast.
She would absolutely love that. She really would. I can assure you.
Yeah, look, she had a great review. She really nailed the final episode of Landman. She kind of agreed with everything we said, which is awesome for us. Even if she didn't agree with us, folks, if y'all ever get a chance to stand by a fire and have a beer with this beautiful woman, you should do it. She is a hoot, man.
She's great. She really is. She is.
She used to be my landlady.
She did. All right. Let's get into The Greatest Showman.
All right. So this one was made on a budget of $84 million and grossed $435 million worldwide.
Damn.
It was what you would call a success. They made a lot of money off of this movie.
When you put the actors they put in this thing, that's what happens.
I was about to say, regardless of the product, the names in this movie, loaded. Absolutely loaded.
Absolutely. Yeah. And a lot of whether you like musicals or not, a lot of talented people in this movie, like super talented people in this movie.
Let's just go 3 names on this payroll: Hugh Jackman, Zac Efron, Zendaya. I feel like that right there is 20 million out the gate.
By the way,
Probably.
I will say this because I have it on my notes. Back in 2017, when this thing came out, and I'm in theaters watching this movie, little 17 or 18-year-old me, boy, Zendaya in this movie, she's a good looking gal.
You know how many 19-year-old girls felt the same way in 2017 about Zac Efron?
Also,
All of them.
yeah,
All of them. And also, you know how many from 19 to 50-year-old women felt the same way about Hugh Jackman? Let's be honest.
you know, I'm gonna say this. This is 2 episodes in a row now that you've brought up how men look, and it's a touch concerning.
But let's be honest. I'm talking about Hugh fucking Jackman, and I don't even remember who the first one was, but it was good.
Jesus. So this one we're sitting at a 56% critic score, not great, and sitting at an 86% on audience score.
It's a musical though. Like you're not gonna get the great reviews on it.
It's not for everybody, and
And-
it's not like it's a very niche type of movie.
Yes.
Yeah, let's be honest, guys. If they didn't have the star power that they did,
Yeah.
this movie's ass.
No, it's not. But I'll give you that. I'll give
It's
you the star power does make a difference.
it's just not that good.
I mean, it's hard to say that because if you have somebody else in the roles, does it work? You know, it's
Or does it
I feel
flop?
like yeah, right. I feel like it works as is. I'm not a musical person. I will say this. I told my wife this. This is the only musical I have ever enjoyed in my life.
I will say, like, I'm gonna at the end when we do our rating, I am gonna rate this fairly to what it is. I don't count Pitch Perfect as a musical. I've told both of y'all that.
Mhm.
This is the best as far as sit down and watch musical that you can watch, in my opinion.
Mm. And it's such a interesting story, if you ask me. Like just the Barnum, like P.T. Barnum as a person is a really cool story to pull from because it's just like wild how he started. Circuses weren't a thing, and then he
Yeah.
just came up with it.
And,
Like
and
how
turned
you
it
come
into
up with
what?
something like that?
Yeah, and that's what makes it good. So that's what I was gonna say, Drew, is that to me, this could have been a great movie without it being a musical.
Mhm.
You could
Just
have.
because the story of PT is so good.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And we already have all these stars. I think it could have just been a great movie flat out.
Yes,
Making it a
definitely
musical
could
to
have.
me is probably my biggest complaint. And that's me. I know there's people that love this type of movie. I'm not one of those people. But the actual story of what we're talking about in this movie, it is a great movie.
Yeah, I had that thought during a few parts of the movie. There's only a few. So, like overall, the songs in the movie I'm okay with. A lot of the songs in this movie I did not realize were songs from this movie because I heard them on TikTok and all this stuff that I did not realize that they were from this movie.
Yeah.
And so, like, it was kind of cool listening to it and being like, "Oh, that's this song," and then, "Oh, that's this." Shannon was laughing at me because she was like, "How do you not know that this is where all these came from?" I was like, "Well, I'm sorry, I haven't ever watched it." Like,
Yeah. I mean, it to me, I get what you're saying, Neil. It could be a standalone movie that is very good by itself.
Yes.
I understand the musical aspect because there's a lot of music involved in the circus back
Mhm.
then when they first started, obviously. The only complaint I have as far as it being a musical thing is it felt a little pushed at times. Like conversations are taking place that are a musical, which in my opinion, if you're a musical person, is genius. But I just it felt like they pushed it a little bit too much. Like the Zac Efron conversation and maybe the conversation at the bar towards the end or when he was trying to convince Zac Efron to come on. And then like the ones between like him and his wife, like on the beach at the end, I
Mhm.
just felt a little forced.
Yeah, it feels a little bit anticlimactic, the ending, because of the song, if that makes sense. Like I feel like we should have allowed it to just be an ending.
It takes away from
And-
the dialogue of what could have been.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
that's how I look at it.
I get that.
And what you bring up, the like conversational music, is the biggest downfall for me in the movie. They don't do it as much as they do in, say, like if you watch Hamilton.
Yeah.
I cannot stand Hamilton because of that crap, dude. I don't need every single line in that thing to be a song. Like, I really don't.
But again, it is a musical, so we have to be fair.
Yes, I just don't. I don't jive with the medium. I
No,
guess you would
it
say.
doesn't get me hard either, buddy. I promise it doesn't.
Yeah.
But it's still a good movie.
Yeah. I did pull some reviews for this one as well. I did it a little bit different this time. I did a very low review, a medium review, and a very high review. Had the idea to do that because they were literally back to back to back, and I was like, well, that kind of works out. So the low review was 0.5 stars. Not the worst musical I've ever seen by any means. Obviously, I fast forwarded the songs, and the plot is pretty thin. The songs are irritating filler. I did like the Freaks, but I've seen better Freaks. I like the Circus because they don't sing through all the acts. If you don't like musicals, don't watch this. It's trash. Watched on Blu-ray.
Buddy just said the hell with it. Called them freaks himself.
I mean, it's somewhat fair. Again, if I'm not into musicals, if I gave you this just on a movie review, I would probably lean more towards that guy, but that's not what we're doing here.
But to call the plot not good.
That's not true. That part's not true to me.
Yeah, I would. The only like thin plot point for me really is, and I did some research into this to see if they did this for a reason because it happened this way in real life and it didn't. The singer that he brings in from overseas, from Britain, or she's from Sweden, but he met her in Britain or whatever. The force trying to make the like controversy of an affair type of thing between the two of them.
It
Yeah.
felt like it was sped through. If it
Yes.
played out, but the problem is they got to speed it through, or people like you won't watch the movie.
Yeah, I get that, but like it
Or
felt
just
so
take a song
rushed.
out.
Yeah, it felt so rushed that we didn't have time for that to develop. We
Yeah.
have one scene where they lock eyes on a couch, and then all of a sudden she kisses him on the stage, and then it blows up.
Well, they kind of hinted at it. Like if you watch PT, like during the first song she performs in New York, like he's like
Mhm.
looking at her and almost crying. Like
Yeah,
it kind of built up, but I agree, it did feel very sped through, and it
yeah.
should have more time.
And in real life, I literally researched it because I was like, did they just throw this in real quick like this because it happened in real life and they need to include it? It did not. Like the two of them were very much just business partners, and she actually did like 150 of those concerts for him or something like that. So their partnership went on much longer. Sorry, went on much longer in real life than it did in the movie.
Got you.
Because in the movie she does what, 2 shows,
Yeah,
and then she's gone.
it was very brief.
And that was the only like sticking point for me that like was like an absolute negative.
Yeah.
Next up, I got a 2.5 star review. It was completely fine, but it felt like it was for more of a niche audience than that I'm not a part of. I really only watched this out of pure curiosity. Everything other than the musical numbers is decent at best. Story was fairly inconsistent and flawed, but it worked decent enough. Musical performances were very well done. Never heard Hugh Jackman sing before, and he has a very nice voice, as well as many of the other performers. So yes, decent movie, just not for me.
Yeah, I mean, I get that one.
Yeah, decent movie, just not for me. Coming from the dark, I don't agree with everything they said, but decent movie, not for me. Yeah, that's okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I totally get where they're coming from, and I like that person is open-minded enough to be like, hey, this is not made for me. I understand where people like this.
Yeah.
Because whoever that was not like this person that gave it a 0.5 star.
Yeah.
Because if we're being honest, this movie is not a 0.5 star movie.
No,
It
is
just
not
is
the
not.
Warriors. Yeah, it's not
No.
the Warriors.
Next up, I got a 5 star review. I've watched this a few times, and I love the light, refreshing approach on the themes of inspiration, betrayal, passion, judgment, true happiness, and love. I will probably watch it again. One of those, one of those movies you watch all the time. The costumes are perfection. The music is beautiful and does a wonderful role of capturing time sequences of events. The dance moves and performance live up to the title is an experience of what defines the greatest show, with great consideration of the time period it occurs in. It's an epic movie. The soundtrack is saved as part of my inspiration playlist. Great casting.
There's some things there that I definitely agree with as well. I mean,
Mhm.
I wouldn't go out and give it a 5-star review, but like it's a good movie to me, in my opinion.
I'm also not going to play cornhole with the soundtrack and my earbuds going, but I get it. If you like some of the songs, I get it.
Specifically, the one song that I did like. So I like the intro. I feel like it's a really good intro for the movie. It kind of sets the scene for what you're
Fitting,
getting
very
into.
fitting.
Yeah, and yeah, and then the "This Is Me" song that the bearded lady does. I like that song. I think it's a pretty good song. Am
She,
I going to have it on my playlist? No,
she looks
but
like a guy I know. It's crazy. It really is. All right, let's see here. I'm not gonna name drop him. I don't want to do all that.
just in case this is the one that gets a million views.
Yeah. Does anybody else have any notes on this one, or is this one? I know Neil probably doesn't. Or is this just me running through mine, kind of?
No, you're good, man.
I have a few. The scene where they're on the roof singing with the daughters and all that stuff. The way he is throwing her around on that roof stressed me out so bad.
Yeah.
I have such a fear of heights, and I was just talking with Shannon about this. Like it literally, I felt my heart drop when she went over the edge, and then he like leaned over and grabbed her and brought her back. I was like, "What are you doing? Stop it! Don't do that."
Dude, full trust.
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah.
I need to take you to work with me one day, Perk.
No, you don't. I'm good. I worked for a construction company at one point doing remodels. My job when we had roofs was I climbed the ladder with 2 things of shingles on my shoulders, and then I threw it up on the roof. And then when I was done throwing shingles on the roof, I was on the ground crew for the day, and I would pick up all the scraps that they threw onto the ground.
Not a heights guy.
There was one time I was going up, and I didn't realize my ladder was like a little bit off level. I was going up. I started falling off the ladder. I had 2 bundles of shingles on my shoulder. I had to throw them off. I dislocated my shoulder throwing shingles off of me because I had to throw them where they didn't crush me. Because them things are like 90 pounds a bundle or something.
Yeah, they're heavy.
And I ended up out of work for like 2 days because of that crap.
Yeah, I wouldn't name drop the name of that company. I don't think OSHA would approve of those work methods.
Yeah.
Definitely not. It's a very small local company that I don't know that
Obviously.
OSHA knows even exists. To be honest, my last note is that the thing that got on my nerves was this singer that he meets in England. She is supposed to be an opera singer, right? The song that she sings is in no way opera.
Yeah, I'll
Like,
give you that.
like whatsoever. Could we
I'm
not
okay with
write
that.
an opera song for her to sing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I'm okay with that. I'm not a big opera fan.
Yeah.
I'm not either. I'm not either.
I could
You
see
could have just
Carter
been,
that.
yeah, you could have just been like, oh, she's just like a pop singer of the day. Not, oh, she's an opera singer and then she's singing a song that sounds like it was written in 2017.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fair. I'll give you that.
All right. I got a pretty extensive list, which I am going to kind of nail down a little bit. Some of this stuff doesn't have to be said. However, so from early on in the beginning, I noted that Barnum's ability to not be satisfied is his best asset.
Nick Saban like.
Do what?
Mhm.
Nick Saban like.
Yes. And then it also that turns later on when he decides to chase standing, and it puts a negative effect on the whole family. Everything that
Mhm.
plays out negative is because he's trying to chase standing, And I get what he's coming from, because he even tells his wife, of course you don't understand. Me and my dad were looked at like dirt, and I don't want that for our daughters. And so, I mean, I get that. And he has to go to the ballet and watch his daughter get picked on because he's the peanut guy or whatever. But I mean, I get that. I understood the strive for success for his family in that aspect.
Mhm.
Let's see here. I have some more. Already talked about Zendaya. It was pretty neat to watch Zac Efron buy in and become. He doesn't care what people think, which is what Barnum's biggest thing was. Is he didn't care at first, and then all of a sudden he starts to care. Well, at that time, then Zac Efron flips, and he doesn't care what people think. Him and Zendaya are becoming a thing. Like, he's striving for it. He even gets mad at his dad and all that. So it was. I thought that was really cool to see as well.
I will say too, one thing about Zac Efron while you're looking at your list. It's very well known in the High School Musical days that he did not do his own singing for that movie. He did his own singing for this movie. He went to vocal lessons and all that stuff and to do his singing for this movie.
I like Zac Efron as an actor. I think he's pretty talented. He does. He's in some good stuff. In my
Neighbors.
bad
What is
Grandpa, or is yeah, that one's good with him and
what,
De Niro.
what's the wrestling movie he's in?
I'm not sure. I didn't
I
know
don't
he
know.
was in a wrestling movie. And you got the
It's
new
called
one that came out
Yeah.
where he's in the car and you go, "I'm trying, Cher." And
Yeah. It's called The Iron Claw. That one needs to be added to our list for the Will Spin. That is a great movie.
I've actually not seen that.
It is great. It's about the Von Erich family, if you know who that is.
I didn't know who that is.
Didn't he do the Ted Bundy movie as well?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That was good
He was
too.
really good. He was really good in that. James Hetfield of Metallica was in that.
Yeah.
Actually, that
Yeah.
one worked out because I could zoom in on Metallica. But James Hetfield of Metallica was in that movie.
I have two more notes that I'm going to hit. The first one is his ability to think on the spot and his ingenuity and his creative. It's what an inventor does. Like, you see that when it's his daughter's birthday and he opens up his briefcase and he's talking her through this story and he just makes something out of nothing.
Mhm.
And that's kind of like, I noticed that throughout the whole movie. That's why it wasn't that crazy to me that he comes up with the idea of the circus even when no one was thinking about it, because his mind just didn't.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So did he legitimately actually forget his daughter's birthday?
I don't know that he forgot it as much as he just got laid off and
Didn't
didn't have the
didn't
opportunity.
have a way to make anything happen.
Yeah. I think either way we're going to get a similar outcome.
Yeah.
And then the other thing I noticed, it was probably my favorite thing about him, and this is where it kind of stopped. Where he's like not caring about what people think of him. He saw the negative the newspapers were printing, and he doubled down on it and put "Prince of the Humbug" on his hat. I thought that was really cool. He was just like, "Y'all are gonna write this? Well, I tell you what, I'm just gonna roll with it." You know?
Got something for your ass.
Yeah. And then doubling down on that, he is talking to the reporter or the writer, and he tells him, "I did like the circus. I thought that was a good idea." And he hits the thing, and the new logo comes down, and it's P.T. Barnum's Circus.
Mhm.
But yeah, again, I thought it was a pretty solid movie.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm going to rate it to the best of my ability.
Well, let me break the calculator out, and let's get into that rating. All right. Would you recommend this movie to friends and family? I'd recommend it at least once. Give me a 4.
I was thinking along the same lines. I'm also going to say a 4. To me, it's one of those movies that you can throw on, and almost anybody's going to get something out of it.
You can watch it with the family. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be a lot lower than y'all here. Not because it's not good, just not my cup of tea. When I'm talking to my buddies and family, this is not something that would come up.
Yeah.
I'm going to be a 2.5 here. If it ever came up, the reason I met in the middle there, I would recommend it. the odds of it coming up or me bringing it up are slim to none.
Mhm.
All right. Likelihood of rewatching. This is going to be a 3.5 for me because I'm going to rewatch it at some point. I got two little girls right now and the third one on the way. We're going to watch The Greatest Showman at some point. They're going to love this type of thing, I'm sure. So
Mhm.
yeah, I'll probably rewatch this movie. It's not necessarily something that I want to, like I've got to rewatch it, but I'll rewatch it. I will. If it's on, if I'm walking in the living room and it's just on one of the TV channels and it's on there, I'll sit down and watch it, but I'm not going to go out of my way to rewatch it. That's why I think 3.5 is pretty fair.
Yeah.
Definitely. I feel like for me it's a 5. This is one of, if not my wife's favorite movie of all time. She is a huge musical person.
It's her recommendation.
No, but she was very excited to get this one on the wheel spin because this is, to be frank, the first one that she's actually paid attention to while I was watching it.
Shannon, glad you
And
won.
yeah, and
Hey,
so
you missed Tucker and Dale.
yeah, so she, I know she's going to bring it up, and honestly, man, I have, I already came into this episode liking it and saying it's the only musical I've ever liked. Us talking about it has made me realize that I like it more than I think I realized I liked it.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
That's fair as far as the musical goes. Again, for me, like just being brutally honest, it's a 2.5. If I have to rewatch a musical, it would be this one. Am I ever going to cut this on my own and rewatch it? No, I will not. If it is on and I walk into the room, though, like Drew said, will I sit down and still enjoy it? Yes, I will. So it's a 2.5.
All right. And our last category, is it a good cast and do they fit their role properly? I don't do this a lot, but give me a 5 here because they play their roles wonderfully. It's a star-studded cast, probably the best cast of any movie we've. Yeah, yeah, best cast,
I don't know if it's the best. We have
and it is. Unless
what?
you want to throw Righteous Gemstones in there in the TV show we reviewed, I get that one, but
No, it's Goodwill Hunting would be the one I would say.
forgot about Goodwill Hunting. That's
That's Goodwill Hunting is.
but yeah, that's a 5 for me. What do y'all got?
I'm going to call it a 4.5. There was a spot or two with the wife that I wasn't a fan of for like very, very small like chunks, like not a very huge negative, but there was a few spots that I was like not
She
huge on
stood
her.
out in a bad way. I'll give you
Yeah.
that. Her acting stood out in a bad way.
That is the only reason I will be at a 4.5. If not for her, I would be at a 5. For this payroll and how much this movie made for this cast, it is an elite category as far as the cast goes.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a 4.5 for me as well.
Yeah.
And
Even
if-
the smaller roles, like the freaks, like
Were very
the
good.
bearded woman,
Very good.
Zendaya, the like, all of them were really good in their roles. The little person, I can't remember the name.
Great.
Yes, great. Did not expect that voice to come out of that person.
Yeah. And he, dude, when he jumped on the horse, he was obviously
Mhm.
scared, and he got out there, and everybody started clapping, and he just starts letting those guns go. That was a
Mhm.
pretty cool moment. But all right, we've got a, I would say middle of the road grade right here coming out, rating coming out.
But
We've
for
got
a musical, a middle grade is
absolutely, I would agree. I don't know that we're going to find a musical that we would rate higher than this. I really don't. Other than like you said, maybe Pitch Perfect if you want to call that one. But even then, I don't know that I rate it higher than this person.
I rate Pitch Perfect.
No, I'm saying just based off of our
Criteria.
Our criteria. Yeah, that's close.
yeah. So yeah,
Cast would hurt Pitch Perfect.
little bit, yeah,
But some of them ended up bigger because of Pitch Perfect, though, and we got to factor that in.
yeah. But I
We'll cross that bridge when we get there.
all in all, I think we're at a pretty true rating here. 3.9. That's a good rating from us, guys. We're coming off a 1-star rating last week, so I think a
Yeah.
3.9 is pretty solid.
And that 1 star was a little high.
Yeah, it was. This was way better of a palate cleanser than I expected it to be, and I feel like even though it is a musical, and we all kind of went into it being like this is a musical,
Yeah.
we kind of needed something. We either needed a musical or John freaking Wick coming off of that.
Yeah.
Which we basically have found in our new weekly episodes. If you hadn't watched the memory
Yeah.
of it, make sure you check that out. All right, we ready for a wheel spin? Let us
Yeah,
find.
so Perk, that's what I was about to say. We may get a banger right here.
We may do it.
All right, let's get this thing pulled up. This will be for our Friday episode. So make sure you check those out. I already touched on it in the last episode. We got a full week planned. You got this one coming out today. You've got Fallout coming out tomorrow. You've got
No, you're a day off.
no.
Oh, wait, no, you're not. I'm sorry.
Gotta remember things.
Shit.
Then I've also got Hijack coming out another time this week as well. And then this will be our Friday episode of the week. Are we ready?
I'm ready, man. I got a lot of excitement here. We're not getting a musical.
3, 2, 1. So fun fact, you hit that, I didn't hit the button.
Yeah, you got to spin it when he plays the damn music.
True.
Oh, don't you do it.
We almost did get a musical deal.
Yeah, we did. I was going to be pissed, dude.
Rounders. What a movie. I'm so excited. So
Mhm.
excited.
I have not watched this in years.
It's a good one.
Rounders.
Neil, you watched this recently, didn't you, Neil?
I did. I'm going to go ahead and watch it again. I'm pretty sure. Oh, my Wi-Fi's not on while I'm telling you this. Yes, I just watched it. I was making sure. It's very good.
This is going to be another one that's going to be very high on the cast for me, personally.
The cast is going to be high. There's a one-liner in here that Drew likes to say.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
Yes, that's it right there. This movie makes me nervous as shit. Like this is one of those movies that can work me up. But
You know what? I've never made the comparison, and it feels like the better version of how Uncut Gems makes you feel.
I get that. I was going to say another one it's just as good like that too. That if you've never watched it, I highly recommend it. If you've never watched The Gambler with Mark Wahlberg, you think this will get you on edge. Boy, that right there is life changing.
Mm-hmm.
this one right
Uncut
here,
Gems, I could not finish it because it was stressing me out so bad.
this movie actually gets credit for like Vegas getting a big blow up at this time, like in this era. Like
Mhm.
this movie changed stuff with how people view gambling. Not to get too far into it or give too much away. I'm excited about this one. This is a good one.
Yep, I agree. So make sure you guys tune back in Friday for that one. Tune back in tomorrow for Fallout and catch Hijack at some point. I have no schedule for that. It just kind of comes when it comes out. But all right, that's going to do it. Make sure you let Grandma know we made another episode. And make sure you like, share, and subscribe. We really appreciate it. Neil?
We'll see you.
The pilot episode. Here we